A very warm welcome, guys, to part 2 of my epic trip from the UK to the US. We're doing a ferry flight in the Hot Start TBM 900. And where the hell am I going? There we go. And we are currently situated in the Faroe Islands. Quite an incredible place, to say the least. But we're now going to be heading to Iceland, and particularly Reykjavik. So we're going to be pretty high up for this particular flight, going up to the surface ceiling of the TBM, which is 31,000 feet. Okay guys, you've just been run over by a TBM. Okay, this is going to be a very sprightly takeoff roll, and we're already in the air. Not quite centered, but we'll leave that for a moment. Gear up. A very fleeting stop here at the Faroe Islands. Thanks for having us. Thanks for the coffee. But we need to be on our way again. Plenty of fuel still. That's one thing I'm going to definitely make sure of on this trip, that I've got plenty of fuel. And that moon there looking pretty damn epic. Now we do have live traffic enabled, so if you do see any airliners on this route, although I wouldn't imagine this is the most popular of routes to do, that will be real. So keep your eyes peeled. Flying this route reminds me of when the Canadian Lancaster came over to the UK a few years ago. Now that was one hell of a airshow season, and if I've got any pictures of that particular moment of seeing both those Lancasters together, I'll put them up somewhere around here. But yeah, a few years ago, to celebrate the anniversary of the Battle of Britain and Dam Busters, the Canadian Lancaster did this very route over, which was quite a feat for such a vintage aircraft to do that. It kind of worried me a little bit because, you know, these aircraft are priceless, antiques really. So that was quite an amazing achievement in itself. And not only that, to top it off, that was during when the Vulcan, the Avro Vulcan XH558 was also in the airshow circuit. Now that as well was just an amazing achievement, that we was able to have a Vulcan basically funded by the generosity of the public. I'm talking millions here, fly around in the UK for a fair few years, and I spent many happy memories. I have had many happy memories of chasing that all around the UK on the bike, and I've seen that pretty much everywhere, and I'm very thankful that I was able to experience that. And there was a particular event that happened at RF Waddington where the Avro Vulcan, bearing in mind that's kind of like it would have been the modern equivalent of the time of the Lancaster, and in fact the Vulcan is only 11 years apart in terms of its design. Now if you look at both of them designs, you wouldn't believe it, because even if you saw a Vulcan today, it looks like it's something from the future. It really does, with that delta wing shape. So there was an event at Waddington that was, it's just unforgettable, where the Canadian Lancaster and the UK British Lancaster from RF Coningsby and the Vulcan did a formation fly pass together. and I remember being at Conisby with a load of other photographers at the time and seeing that come into view, and the sound of those Merlin engines. Bearing in mind, I think it was the two Lancasters, the Vulcan, and I think there was maybe even a couple of Spitfires, and that sound, that evocative sound, was unforgettable. So yeah, pretty amazing. Right, so actually this flight isn't going to be quite as long as I was intending, which is good. I'm pleased about that. We're going to be at Iceland pretty damn quick, so what I'll do is, to save you listening to me drone on, I will see you guys when we get to our top of descent here, which I may start descending just before that actually. So I'll leave you with a couple of nice panoramic shots of the TBM doing its thing, and we're now at 313 knots ground speed, and hopefully that might get even quicker as we go, although having said that, the wind is picking up, so maybe not. Anyway, I'll see you guys on top of descent. Wow. Land ahoy! We are just about to touch Iceland. It's always quite nice when you see land again after just seeing sea all around you for so long. We're really making tracks and doing really well here. We just need to start putting in some frequencies, including the ATIS, which is 128 30. I really like how in the Windows Mixed Reality kind of software, I guess, yes, those two words do happen every now and then, the words like and Windows Mixed Reality software, but yeah, you can click. I won't do that now because it messes my the Windows Mixed Reality mirror, but if I press the middle button, the desktop comes up and I can fiddle around with the desktop. I've just been checking the little nav map. I've got that running in the background, and it's tracking our route, letting us know any information as it happens, which is very cool because it connects to X-Plane via the plug-in connector, but also Active Sky as well, which is very, very helpful, giving us a bit of an idea of what the weather might be like when we get there. And of course I can mess around, and I just checked my YouTube channel and Facebook as well, so yeah, I've got all sorts of entertainment aboard the TBM 900 today. But our VNav is telling us, in fact, and before I do that, I'll just put the tower in, 1183. Is it 3? Yep. Great, so that's all sorted and that's in there, and we've got our Active Sky 8 as a backup in COM 2. So yeah, let's have a look then at our flight plan so far, and hopefully it will tell us that our time of descent, top of descent, is going to be 8 minutes time, which is corresponding with that quite well, and considering obviously we probably making up a bit of time by oh wow, look at that, getting up to 31,000 feet so quickly. And we're doing 322 knots at the moment, but we have got a bit of a, I don't know, crosswind still, but it's 56 knots now, so it's quite strong. Now as you can see here, 3J FPS is limiting my LOD factor to keep the frames up, so when you're this high, sometimes that can affect how it looks. So you can see there's a bit of a line there, but hey, it's all trade-offs. I'm happy to cope with that. But the ortho I have here, my good friend downloaded it for me from, I think, Big Maps again, and I've had this particular ortho for quite a few years, and I did a bit of an Iceland tour in the caravan in the CV1 quite a few years ago, and oh god, it was just amazing. The ortho really picks out those volcanic sort of ash of where it's carved out its own path into the scenery on some of those dormant volcanoes, which when you go over them, it makes you realise and remember how ridiculously small and insignificant we are compared to Mother Nature. I do remember not so long ago one of the volcanoes did erupt, and I woke up one morning and found ash on my car in the UK. Incredible. And one of the good points I suppose you'd say of that was that we got some incredible sunsets and a red moon, like a fiery red angry moon, which was pretty spectacular to say the least. But I remember all the airliners had to ground their flights, obviously, because you don't want to be intaking any of that ash into the jet engine. That would be pretty bad. And I remember people being in uproar about it, like, well, what do you want to do then? Do you want to just keep flying and then crash? Is that a better option? Or maybe just ground the flights and just, I know it's a bit inconvenient, but let's be safe first, hey? I think people are very, very entitled these days. But yeah, that scenery is looking very spectacular, and it's only going to get better now. Just look at all that scenery down there, and even though there are some a few dodgy tiles such, and some of the cloud that's in the terrain, it kind of gives it more depth. I don't mind to see the odd cloud in the ortho textures, because if the ortho's crisp, the clouds actually give it a sense of depth. As you can see here, look, that looks really good. Busy taking screenshots here, I can't help it. I've definitely got some sort of compulsive screenshot disorder. We are descending nicely, and with plenty of fuel, and oh my goodness, we are totally over talking this. Go down, down. Crikey. Okay, that's enough sightseeing. I think we need to concentrate. If you can hear Monty in the background, he's getting a bit restless. He wants to go out for a walk, so come on Monty, you only have to hold on for another 12 minutes and we will be on the deck, and we can go for a walk around Iceland. Go for a walk around, not around the whole country, but around Reykjavik, and we'll check it out. Does that sound good? I would love to do that. Take my doggies with me and go for a world tour in a TBM. Although that lovely upholstery back here, I don't think it would stay so clean as this. We'll stow the table away ready for landing, if I can. There we go. Look at the way that folds in there. Just pure quality, it really is. and the stitching of the leather. That stitching there, wow. I remember once very fondly, just checking recording, that me and my friend were flying in a PA-28 Cherokee, and we were going across the channel, and we had to get back because I was at work the next day, and we basically went over to France for just for a couple of days, and the weather really closed in. It's a story really that could quite have easily ended in disaster, to be fair, and we had to scud run basically across the English Channel at about 500 feet or so, and it was my friend, he said to me, look, I want you to have the inflatable boat thing inflatable dinghy in your hand ready, just in case, because if we have an engine failure now, we're going to end up in the drink within literally seconds. And I was thinking, oh my god. And there I was in the back, because there was a couple of others there, and it was someone else's leg to fly, so I was in the back eating flapjacks, as you do, you know. And I was looking at the sea, and the sea looked pretty damn rough and cold. I could see the swells of the waves, and yeah, I was a little bit concerned, if I'm honest, but we were obviously okay, and I got back to tell the tale. But yeah, that was quite an amazing day, a long old day that, but one I'll never forget. In the single engine plane as well, and it was an old 1960s, 1970s I think, Piper Cherokee. It had that old sound and feel and smell to it, you know. Right, are we picking up ATIS? We're not yet, are we? No. Should be by now. Unless I've not dialed it in correctly. Okay, when you slow right down here. Slow down. And what we'll do is we'll just come down here and check once again. 1283, that is correct. Well, we'll listen to Active Sky as well, because we kind of need our local pressure.
Bravo, India, Romeo, Kilo, airport information. Juliet 1400, Zulu, weather, wind, calm, visibility 10,000, sky clear, temperature -2, dew point -5, altimeter 3,
it's cold out there.
0, advice on initial contact, you have information.
Keflock
Juliet.
information.
Oh, hang on, it's coming in now.
1300 Zulu weather.
300.
Wind light and variable.
Bravo.
Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 0. Dew point 0. Altimeter 3000. Arriving runway 10. Departing runway
0,
19.
0, 10.
Advise on initial contact, you have Sierra.
Gotcha. We'll listen to that one more time. We have Sierra. We have our pressure setting and our runway. It's clear. It's 0 degrees out there, so maybe we'll put a bit of
Keflock information. Sierra.
bit of temperature. We'll just put the temperature up a bit here.
Weather.
And speed.
Wind light and variable.
Oh, that's nice and toasty.
Visibility
Lovely.
more than 10.
That's what we want.
Sky clear. Temperature 0. Dew point 0. Altimeter 3000. Arriving runway 10. Departing runway 19. Advise on initial contact, you have Sierra.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okie dokie. Right, I hope you guys have packed your coats and your scarves and your gloves, because it's really cold out there. It's nice and warm in the TBM, but unfortunately it's going to be a bit of a shock. I'm actually really pleased the weather is nice and clear, because I think we would have had definite issues with icing if we had some cloud cover and a bit of rain. We would be in trouble. And tell you one thing, guys, this aircraft does model icing perfectly. I'll show you now actually. If you look at the airframe, if we put our boots on, check that out. And I have seen icing build up on there, and it kicks that ice off of that wing. Now that is what I call detail, and this is the kind of things I'm talking about with this aircraft. So when I fly it in these crazy places and doing this big flight. It is, the sense of reward feels great because you know that you're somewhat doing things fairly realistically. Such a barren landscape out there. Not much opportunity for an engine failure either, because I am always constantly looking for areas. Maybe there, that would be the best area there with that road. It's very marshy and very rugged terrain. It's not going to be a smooth landing, that's for sure. Okay, so it's basically right on our nose here, the airport. So what we're going to do is we will do a downwind. A simple circuit, I think, will do us nicely. I think the airport we're going to is going to be pretty damn sparse. Oh, wow. Such interesting terrain here. Most likely as spectacular as the Payware Ortho of the Orbex Tour series, really. There's an actual road. I think it's a road anyway. No cars on it though, but there is a little town there. Reykjavik's over there. That's fine. I'd much rather land here, so we're completely, basically right out to the sea on our next leg to Greenland. Those houses almost look like they've been perfectly placed there. It's just basically auto-gen. God, that's a massive airport, holy crap. Autopilot, come off. We have control of the aircraft. And we have made it to our destination. Leg 2 is in the bag. I'm so pleased I was able to do both legs today, that's fantastic. 3 o'clock, not bad going. We started at 11 o'clock, so we've had 4 hours in the Reverb. No problems at all. Right, okay, so we'll put landing gear down. I'm going to tentatively wake up my trim wheel, and that's going to send the aircraft into an uncontrollable spin, probably. Oh, here we go, look. I hate how it does that. So, I do love my Cytec trim wheel, I wouldn't be without it, but it is annoying when it kind of has to reset itself. Well, we'll have a nice long base leg. We're not going to need much flaps here. I think we'll just go for first stage in a moment. Slow down a bit more first for that. Okay, flaps coming down. I could probably land, take off and land again on that runway. So we've got a 4-knot wind. Almost down the runway. Screenshot time, here we go. Little high, that's fine. No issues. In fact, looking at live traffic recently, I've noticed that a lot of aircraft at Heathrow, they will land log on purpose just to save taxi time. I don't blame them. I think we might do the same thing here actually and just land a little long.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
Don't worry, bitchin' Betty.
Sync
We've got it. There's a lot of buildings here. Nice smooth touchdown on centre line. There we go. And again, we won't need our reversers. I think we'll go right to the end here. So welcome to Iceland. And it's cold out there. Outside air temperature is 0 degrees. Reading that off that there. What should we do? We'll carry on right towards the end. Oh, hang on, we have some traffic, and that is live traffic, guys. That is actually landing there in real life. I just love that. I think that's just incredible. Right, so strobes off, taxi light off. Oh, and he's using that runway, interestingly, which could, you could do that as well. That's fine, makes sense. Just close every tab here. And we'll have a pretty decent view of that landing. Oh, just honestly, guys, every time I see it, AI now, it's not AI really, it's actually a real aircraft that is landing right now. How exciting is that? Like, knowing that that is a real aircraft landing within 30 seconds of sort of the real time. 30 seconds. I wouldn't even care if it was a few minutes. That's just amazing. It's going behind those hangars, but we're going to find somewhere to plonk this TBM. That looks quite inviting over there. We'll go over there. This is nice, almost an Orbeck style airport this. I often find the gateway airports are actually pretty damn good, and that's all you need really. Look at that, a massive Laminar Research advertisement there. Yeah, we'll just park ourselves here. There we go. And we have landed. God, what a great flight. Another super flight. I'm looking out for that plane that's landed. I can't see it now, but it's a very big airport, this airfield. Right, we can shut all this down. I think that's a job well done today. That is a job well done. And we'll go out the back today. If it'll let me. Oh, that's because... Try again. That's to close it. I should know that. I've only got like 200-300 hours in this aircraft or more. Well, thanks guys once again for tuning in and watching this series. I really do appreciate it. What am I doing? There we go. And part 3 will be the flight from Iceland into Greenland. I look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Bye bye.